All right, ready?
And then intro as well. Hello, everyone. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode. Two phones, one true. Now, of course, this is a live stream, so we are going to be waiting for a few people to join on in, and then I'm probably going to say the intro again. But I just wanted to say hello to everyone watching this after the live has ended. So we're gonna take like a weird one. Oh, never mind. We already have people
Gina.
joining in. I think I can go ahead and say the intro again. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Two True One False. It's me, Kevin G, as your host, and his lovable sidekick until I find another replacement, K-Dad. Forget the replacement part.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay, well, we're not going to concentrate on that and
let's
feelings
delve
today.
Right into
No, sorry.
Okay, we are going to talk a little bit about... Okay, hello, everyone. Thanks you for joining.
Hello.
There is a question from Gina. How's your arm doing?
My arm is actually doing pretty good. Do you say Capuente?
Oh, Lisa, you made it too. All right, perfect. Lisa's on here as well. All right, awesome. So his arm is doing better. We're going to find out a little bit more tomorrow, actually.
Yes, we will, but that's not why we're here. No, we're going to be treating this as a podcast. So for our viewers at home, get ready, buckle in, do whatever you need to do, get snacks, get popcorn. I was going to say, like, fasten your seatbelt, but it wasn't going to work out. Today, we will be doing haunted Disney stories. Now, I'm going to assume that everybody watching this has heard of Disney before. You know, the big platform that everyone knows about. It is a huge part of the media.
They do movies and parks and things like that, maybe.
Yeah. But today, we will be talking about the parks, okay? We will be talking about the Disney World Parises and Disneylands of our generation. So, we actually have a bit of a different premise today.
All right, before you jump into that, may I interject and just tell everybody, and also ask their opinion on it, all the thumbnails now and all the artwork is done by none other than
me,
Kevin.
I actually spent like a day or two.
So the question is, do you like it or not? If you do, let us know. I have been encouraging him. As a matter of fact, we have some earlier drawings that I think are great, and he kind of feels a little, I don't know, conscious about it, or is not so confident. So if you could just let us know whether you think it's good or not. I know there's going to be some comments that are going to say no right away, give it up. But all the real true fans that really think are good, just tell us. I already have Sanapi official saying it's pretty good. Now, appreciate that. Thanks for being on with us.
Trick and Jockey. I do want to specify this, okay? Believe it or not, I didn't do tracing for the entire drawing. I did like maybe 2 or 3 like tiny parts because it was kind of like tough to understand, like doing the logs.
I think you just have to keep at it, and it'll be fine. We will see later what everybody says.
If you enjoy it, thank you very much. I'm going to say this personally. I don't think it's the best, but I don't think it's the worst. But again, that's not why we're here, K-Dad, is it? No, it's not.
I'm sorry I interrupted. Let's get back to the stories.
Fine. We're here to talk about haunted Disney stories, and we have a bit of a different premise, a bit of a switch up, may I add. So usually we just do 2 quote-unquote true stories. I would use my other arm, but it's broken. And then 1 lie. But this time, we're actually going to have a special little segment in between the second and third story. So essentially, I will be telling you a story on my own that actually happened to me. And let's just say I think about it to this day. When I was doing my Disney stuff, I couldn't stop thinking of it. It was the first thing that popped into my mind, and personally, it scares me to this day.
Okay, thanks for switching it up and making it even more confusing.
Of course, and who knows, maybe we will do, like, Guess Who and whatever, Monster Edition, just to make it a bit funner, and to confuse you, so I can win.
Thank you.
Now, this is also episode 3, and he did lose the first one, he lost the second one, and you know what they say, third time isn't a charm, so you better not win. with that being said, let's get on to story number 1. 5 or so years ago, the poster, and when I say poster, I do not mean something on the wall, I mean a person talking, because last time K-Dad pointed that out, and now I have to say that every single time.
Makes sense.
Anyways, the poster slash person was riding the Pirates of the Caribbean. Everybody knows that ride, correct?
Yes.
I think it's one of their most popular. Now, it's right before the burning town scene. On the left hand side, there's essentially like a balcony that's kind of off to the side. And when they get to that part, guess what they see? They see a shadowy person who looks like they're leaning off of the balcony and looking out over the boats, almost like it's looking at them. Now, he locks eyes with it. He's just staring at it, and he's been on that ride. This is an exaggeration, but 1 billion times, okay? He has ridden that ride before, and he does not remember that being there, not in the slightest. So, he thinks that maybe it was a cast member there to keep an eye on boats.
Makes sense. Okay.
He doesn't know why, but it was kind of weird to just have a person staring at you. Especially since you can't make out their details. They look like a shadow person. I don't think you would have a fun time being on that ride. Now, he does end this off by saying he doesn't know if anyone who worked on the ride knows if that does happen, like you have a cast member stare at them, because he's not entirely sure. So he does ask other people, but it was a very terrifying experience, especially since the ride has a reputation of being haunted. Now, one thing I do want to say, I do believe checking out the comments, and someone, I believe, said that no, cast members do not do that. That is the end of story number 1. Go ahead and tell me what you thought of it. Go ahead and speak with the chat and come up with a decision as you wait for story number 2.
Okay, so a very bland story about someone just taking a ride on Pirates of the Caribbean and felt like somebody was kind of staring at him, can't really tell who. And then
Shadow person.
Shadow whatever, and then found out
Shadow whatever.
I know, it just
That's
I
the
don't
new
know.
name for it.
It's another one of those stories that are so
bland generic.
Exactly. And like not even a story that you're like, why would anybody make this up? I mean, if you're riding and you're in Disney and I don't know, you're on different rides, you might be noticing just random things that aren't even there, or maybe somebody was just looking out, making sure that nobody's falling off or nothing's happening. And Pirates of the Caribbean does have kind of the whole idea reputation. I mean, the whole idea is trying to scare you. Like, I don't know. This story not only does it not feel like it's a lie.
There's like a rumor or like
feels
a myth.
Like a boring story.
Sorry for cutting you off. You're actually right. It is kind of a boring story, and I'm just gonna say like 3 tiny things because it might help you, might not. First of all, didn't the Pirates of the Caribbean have a reputation of not only being haunted, but I remember there being like a rumor or something like that they actually used real life skeletons for the ride back in like the 90s or whatever.
I don't know. They always say things like that. Hello everyone. If you're just joining, I see Daniela's in here. Jude Clips is on here.
Hello. Second of all, sorry for cutting you off, but even if it was a cast member, how would they get there? Like, either they have like a special walkway and no one has ever gone up there except for this one time.
Nobody really knows what happened because the guy didn't know who to go to. It's not like he spoke to a manager. Just cast members like, oh, we don't walk around there. You don't really know that. And I'm sure they have secret entrances, scaffolding, all kinds of behind the scenes things to set everything up and set it in motion or be able to supervise you. Seems like a very boring story. I'm not sure if you would make that up. Dylan's saying he likes your glasses, Kevin.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
cool.
much.
And everyone else, Ford is on here. Everyone else that's joining, hello.
Hello.
So story number one is just one guy, person taking a ride on Pirates of the Caribbean, kind of notices a shadow staring at him. We really don't know, like too much has been gone.
Since when do you do the recaps?
I don't know. It just felt like, let's get on to story number two.
Hold on, before we get on to story number two, I do want to say this. Even if it was like something that they randomly saw, that would mean they saw like a silhouette of a person, which is still pretty creepy nonetheless.
Hello, random guy on YouTube, Gloopy Games. Hello, everybody's just getting a shout out.
Let's get on to
Chef JR55 says, "I like your room."
Thank you.
Pretty cool.
Story
number two. Yes.
So he wants to he wants to say this. Apologies. He doesn't believe in ghosts. Okay, I know some people do, some people don't. I believe in ghosts. I think K-Dad is like, yeah, I don't think he believes in ghosts, but maybe sometimes he does. He's weird when it comes to believing in ghosts and horror things / stuff. But the poster, aka person, was just working for Disneyland, and he worked in Critter County stores. About 2 weeks after starting, he has a shift that ended 15 minutes after everyone else.
Oh no, he stayed late. Okay.
Now, just want to say this. Everyone knows that like the Disney parks are like a giant place. So imagine it being like 7 a.m. or 1:45 a.m. in the morning, and then you're just stuck there all by yourself.
I would go on all the rides and just have fun. Anyway, so this person stayed 15 minutes late. Wow. Yeah. It's like even if they close at whatever time, usually there's another hour of cleanup. But
well, yeah,
I don't want to destroy the story. All right.
It's not like you're going to be having fun all by yourself. And
no, because you can't even operate. Yeah, okay. I get it. All right, let's get past the first line.
15 minutes after everyone else. So he has to walk in the park alone. And no one... Stop. No one wanted to wait for the new guy.
Of course, it's the
Obviously,
new guy.
No one's going to wait for you. It's like in those horror movies when they decide to like split up. Like, no, don't worry, Jim.
That's the first thing you need to do. Whenever there's danger, if we ever go into like a haunted house, or anything like that, the first thing, and this is great advice, is split up and try and run into the creepiest looking room all by yourself. That is the best advice. Demo Prospect is saying that the Christian among my two friends got a picture with you. Absolutely.
Fun.
Amazing.
Fun.
All right, so let's just assume new guy stays a little late. Nobody wants to wait for him.
My favorite part in horror movies, side note, is just when they say like, "Oh no, don't worry, K-Dad. I'm sure that nothing will happen to you if you go into that room by yourself at 3 a.m. and say, I love potatoes 97, 391 times."
No, yeah, I think that is the best thing. Or when you're telling them, look, I'm hearing these voices and things
and it's like, no,
shaking and rattling, and they're like, no, still go and sleep in that weird room way far off by yourself. And then, my child, you'll be fine. Okay.
And then, of course, it's like, and it's so weird because the voices keep telling me that you need to run somewhere. And then they just sit there and be like, oh, no!
Why do I get the feeling we're, like, way far off the story?
Anyways.
Yes.
Sorry, we got sidetracked, okay? So,
Sidetracked.
So, no one wants to wait for the new guy. Big shocker. It's now 1:45 a.m. in the morning, and he's walking on stage in front of Splash Mountain. Obviously, he's looking at his cell phone. He's probably on another social media app and watching Kevin G 24/7.
Exactly. So let's put it that way. So he is watching Kevin G at 1:45.
Now, he's right in front of the Splash Mountain entrance, and he looks up the hill,
and he notices an animatronic. Okay. No, all right.
And he sees a little girl. She's just hanging out. She's in like a very old dress. I'm talking like,
Oh.
I don't know, 70s, 90s.
Wait, hold on.
That type of old dress.
Yes, I. It's so funny what you think is old. Like more like 1800s, I believe, not 80s or 90s. That's not old. Anywho, okay.
Okay, so essentially when K-Dot was hanging out with the dinosaurs,
that type of dress. Okay. So in a very old, different style clothing.
Yes.
All right.
Now, he doesn't see anything shiny or anything like that. So he just thinks it's a girl and, they're lost. She's probably like 7 or 8 years old. Now, the poster person is looking around to see if there are any other cast members that can help me. Because he's panicking. He's trying to remember the protocol for lost kids since he was still new. And no one wanted to wait for the new guy.
I think the protocol is just leave him there. What do you mean you have to think about that? You grab the person and you try and okay, anywho,
well,
yeah. So he's new, he doesn't know.
To like a certain spot.
Yeah, of course. You bring him to the lost and found.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't even know, you're right. Anyways, he's walking towards her. And she's closer to the entrance of a certain ride. And the poster is closer to the entrance of Winnie the Pooh. Ooh. Now, he calls again and asks if she needs help or if she's lost. And she still has her back to the poster. So she's not even looking at him. She's like, wah, 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 candy, potatoes. Don't even ask me. Now, as the poster...
I would have thought they would say something like honey. Okay, anyway.
That's funny. Now, as the poster gets closer... That was fun. Anyways, he looks around again thinking how upset poster is because a security guard. He was upset at a security guard for not clearing the area of the park. And he just left, leaving the new guy in this weird mess. Anyways, they are maybe 20 yards away from each other, and as he looks to the left, and he looks to the right for help. He looks forward again, and he sees that the little girl has ran towards him. Problem is, he didn't hear any footsteps, and he can tell that she's going to run into him, and they both will fall. So he braces for impact. He's like, no! But it doesn't happen. In all honesty, nothing happens. But he opens his eyes, and the girl is gone. He looks around for a little bit, but he decides that this isn't my problem anymore. I'm gonna skedaddle. Security guard should have done his job right. So he leaves. He doesn't think about it. Until a week later, when he had an opening shift with one of his leads who had been with the resort for 20 years, and he didn't want to get in trouble, okay? So he decides, let me not say that I left a guest in the park, especially like a girl. So he's like, have you seen anything weird at night? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. She responds, oh yeah, did you see a girl in the white dress? Yeah, he's shocked. He's like, excuse me? What did you say? Girl, white dress, with the same thing that I saw? Yeah, apparently it had happened to other members of the Splash Mountain cast and Haunted Mansion cast. They all had like similar stories to what had happened, and some of the older cast actually knew what had happened, and they shared some of their knowledge. Apparently, there was a tiny girl that everyone called Mary. Now, I don't know who everyone is, But we're going to continue. She loved Tom Sawyer's Island and Haunted Mansion, that part of the park in the early 70s. Now, she unfortunately had passed away, and as many of you may know, it is a common trend for people to let their loved ones rest in the Disney parks. I think you can imply what that means.
I'm not sure about all of that.
Spread their ashes.
I'm not sure about all of that.
So,
yeah, I'm not sure where you're getting your info from. I think there's laws, regulations.
Well, yeah, like the Disney members actually like try and grab the ashes before.
No. No.
It does. Like people.
This is not.
You're right. Okay, you're right. Fine. Again, everything can be a rumor. Anyways.
Yeah, most things are. Like, people are trying to do crazy things.
May we continue with my story?
Yes, you should.
Wait, when I say my story, I mean it as in like...
Oh, I don't know. I think you're giving us
No. Hold on.
All right, there you go. You're not good at this. Okay, so number 2 is possibly Kevin's story.
Don't you dare!
Just letting everybody know.
No, but in all seriousness, I don't think
that was a Freudian slip.
Story this long. Anyways. The parents...
Is there another hour of the story left?
The parents fulfilled their... I hope you lose. The parents fulfilled their daughter's wish, and the parents actually told a Haunted Mansion cast member many years after they had done what they had done. But cast members in that time still claim to have seen a girl in the white dress walking on the island or around the area that became the entrance to Critter County. And that is the end of story number 2. Hope you didn't fall asleep. Now discuss.
Okay, I was just as soon as you said Miss Mary, I was gonna say Miss Mary. I don't feel safe. I know it's just fun. All right, everybody that's just joining. I know I can't really respond to all the comments. I'm kind of reading them as I'm paying attention to the story too. Meg, hello, saying Kevin G. I'm a big fan. Some of them make me laugh. Some not. All right.
Side note, can you hear my voice? Like, is it loud
yes,
enough?
I can hear it. Yes, it is loud enough.
I'm asking the people watching this, K-Dad. You can already hear me. Hear the whispers.
Yes. All right. So fun. Everybody can hear you. Number 2 seems like a very, very long, drawn out.
Whoa! Thank you so much.
Costa GT, appreciate that.
Thank you.
I hear it good. Williams on here. All right.
Okay. Good to know. Because I want to make sure that everything sounds fine.
Yes, it should sound perfect.
Okay. So, what did you think, K-Dad?
What did
the chat think? Do you think that this is a story?
I think that's a story you might have made up. It's elaborate. There's a lot of stuff going on in there.
Or what if I did story number 1 just to like blow you off?
Okay,
like,
so regardless, how about this? When we do our deliberations, we don't really need your influence on there to kind of...
Who uses that word?
Explain the whole story to us. But if you want to go ahead and just basically kind of tell us the whole story. All right, so there's some spamming going on.
Thank you.
I guess they don't really understand what's going on today. So
Thank you very much again.
Yes. Win Kevin G. Thank you once again. So sweet. Pasta
you are
GT.
the GOAT. Thank you so much.
All right. So we are doing the 2 true stories, 1 false. All right. Story number 2 was about new guy working at a Disney park, attraction park, staying 15 minutes past the time, like 1:45 in the morning. Actually, I was making fun of you. 1:45 a.m. is pretty early in the morning, so it's kind of...
imagine when you're...
All right, so nobody is waiting for him, and he kind of goes, sees little Mary, doesn't feel safe. Mary's like running toward him, and she's pretty much... You're saying she's a ghost.
Essentially, yes. That is...
All right. Story 2 kind of feels like something you might have made up. All right.
Okay.
Are you going to give us your own story? You said it's different. All right.
Yes.
So today it's a little different.
Everyone, this gets put on pause, okay? Let me read the disclaimer that I made. This is not a scary story for episode 3. It is what happened to me one time when I was a wee little lad.
Yeah, so many years ago.
Yes.
Where's the hammer? Okay, all right.
It's gone.
All right, I'm gonna do sound effects here. Okay, so many years ago when you were absolutely young.
Yeah.
2 years. No, just kidding. Okay, so tell us the story. Yes, it was a
Okay.
little while back.
So again, disclaimer: this is a story that I have made up, but it is not a part of the 3 stories that we do. So this is just like filler, essentially. I mean, that's the
Wait,
best
did you
word.
say you just made this up?
Well, this is hold on. This is a story that happened to me. So it's not like I made up the fake story and that this is the fake story. I know it gets confusing. Just remember, this is like a side plot.
Did this happen to you? Is this a true story? Okay,
It did.
so you're adding your own story, and don't try and confuse us even more.
Okay. This is not a part of the main trio. Anyway, I want to see. K-Dad, I think you can vouch for this story because I think.
I don't know. I have no idea what you're gonna say. I'm just trying to moderate here and figure out what's going on.
I was on the sofa. Now
yes. So far the story sounds true.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, you are on the sofa, okay?
Now, you may or may not know this about us, but we're pretty big Disney fans.
No. I don't think any of the videos from Disney Pancakes on down to everything having Disney characters gave it away. If you followed... No, I'm just kind of adding little nuances on here and just painting the picture. Yes.
Is your secret agenda to be sarcastic?
Maybe on today's live.
You will not.
Okay, so cookies. Yes, I think anybody that has followed us realizes we do have a lot of Mickey stuff. Okay.
So, as I was saying, we had a Mickey Mouse doll. Now, chances are, if you're watching this, you probably had one. You know what I'm talking about, like the tiny. I don't want to say tiny kind because it was actually quite big. It was like, can you grab Cornelius the Corn?
I don't know because I don't play with dolls.
It was, I think, about the.
So it was like a Mickey Mouse plushie or something. But if you want to call it that, you had a doll.
I mean,
and you just said it worldwide. Okay, all right.
Okay, plushie then. It was like a bit bigger than.
That's okay. You already said it. The cut's finna go wild. All right.
You understand the point.
Yes. Oh wow, Pasta GT, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. So lovely. Wonderful.
Everything was okay. I'm just sitting.
Oh yeah, okay.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just like sitting on the sofa, probably watching something scary or whatever, because I'm a scary fan. Or no, I'm not gonna dox myself. I'm not gonna say Coco Melon. Because I don't think I watched that. That's not important. That's not important to the story. Don't clip that. Anyways, everything's going fine except for the fact that it's watching me. Anybody know the Mona Lisa and how its eyes follow you everywhere? Yeah, that's what happened.
Yes, her eyes do follow you. And you do have the Mona Lisa. Okay, it's not here.
Its eyes were following me. Now here's the fun part, okay? That doll was not supposed to do that. And when I mean follow, I don't mean something like, oh, it's looking like this, and then if you're standing from this angle, it looks like its eyes are following you. No, I mean, it was going like this. Hold on, can you even see it? How do I show this? Okay. This is its eye. Pretend it's looking straight at you, and then it feels like it moves and it goes to the left or right. Now that scared me as a child, okay? Because you're just sitting around and you see that thing just start. Yeah, it was traumatizing. Anyways, I get my parents. They look at it, and this is what makes it scarier. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not following me. Its eyes are just normal. Look at it. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but I did not like that doll. And to this day, I do think about it. Anyways, that was not a story, but it was what happened to me. I don't know if you remember it, K-Dad, but...
No, I certainly do not. I don't know any of the doll stories. Okay, are we...
Offended. Stop calling it a doll just because I had it.
Are we ready for story number 3, or are we going to keep going on in these segues and personal moments?
We are for story
Joseph
number
is saying,
three.
I love Kevin's stories. All right, let's go.
Story number three and actions. Essentially, there's a Disney employee, and people may not know this, but underground they have a walkway. So, for example, if Mickey needs to go from Winnie the Pooh exhibit to, I don't know, Mickey Mouse and Friends Clubhouse, then he can just use the underground walkway and go to the clubhouse to keep the magic alive. Now, he was a janitor, and he's cleaning, and then he sees it staring at him. Mickey. Yes, the costume Mickey. But his costume burned, distorted, just looking like a monster.
Like
and
a rough.
I mean,
Mickey had a
monster.
rough day. Okay.
What did you say?
Mickey had a rough day.
True. You know what? It's not his fault, okay? It's not his fault, Mickey.
Okay.
Mickey, you're fine.
All right.
You can do this.
I'm just kind of adding a little color to the story.
The janitor, the poster, he asks if he's okay.
Sure. Makes sense. What happened?
He runs. The Mickey costume. He does like that cartoonish run. I'm just making that part up. He in all seriousness, he runs away from the janitor, and no one was there that day. But the next day, he asks the employees. He's like, "Hey guys, I didn't see you yesterday. Like the park was abandoned. I was doing my normal thing, but what happened? I saw like a Mickey costume downstairs that was burned and distorted." And that's when he finds out it was a malfunction. It had happened that day. And that's why the costume was burnt. I think you can understand what happened. Now, there is one problem that he doesn't understand. He knows that the person must have been feeling like pain or whatever. He just doesn't understand why he ran from him. He thought that he was going to ask for help or something, but no. He ran away. And to this day, not only does it traumatize him, but he still doesn't understand why the Mickey Mouse costume ran away from him. That is the end of story number 3. So, go ahead. Talk. Now. Or do you want to recap?
Sure. Let's do recap kind of. I'm not sure. These stories are so...
Oh, that's the wrong theme song.
Yes, I think.
Recap. What did you say?
All right. Well, we're still waiting for that recap.
Okay. Recap of story number 1. Random guy writing Pirates of the Caribbean. He doesn't do a lot because he's been on this ride 1 billion times. No exaggeration. But one day he looks and he sees shadow person staring over him on balcony. He doesn't know if it was cast member or something.
Oh, you know what? I was on that ride, and there is a segment where somebody is staring at you from kind of like an overpass, not really a balcony. And it's right around where you say where that turn is. So, true story. There is usually somebody staring.
Okay. Turn on the left-hand side, not right.
Whatever. When the turn is. I don't remember every ride like that. Okay, so that is definitely a true story. Okay. Next.
So,
Numero dos. Number 2.
Recap for story number 2.
Oh, this is the long one.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'll make it fast.
All right. Let's see.
New employee. No, he doesn't have friends there. He's cleaning up. He sees girl. He gets scared. Girl runs at him.
Okay.
Doesn't do anything. She disappears. He leaves. Comes back next day. Finds out that there was a girl named Mary. Miss Mary, I don't feel safe. And parents did something to honor their child. And now child
Spirit lives there. That's what they're saying. And they can see her at night. Okay. All right. That seems like a story made up by Kevin. But
those images that I use for my thumbnails are scaring me because Okay, never mind. Sorry. Story number 3: Disney employee. He's underground where that walkway is, so that Mickey
yes, kind of like
you get the point.
You have the tunnels in the White House.
He's a janitor. Right. He's cleaning. He sees Mickey. Costume burned, destroyed. Finds out that there was an accident with fire, malfunction, and you can put the pieces
Can
together.
he see that it was the Mickey costume with somebody in it, or was it just a costume without?
Well,
I mean, I hate to spoil this for everybody. It's not really Mickey Mouse.
It wasn't.
Like you could see that there was a person.
So everyone knows this. Like they have people wear the costumes.
No, you're not getting where I'm going with this.
But someone
was the costume like running by itself on fire?
No.
Oh.
Person.
So there was a person.
There was a person in the costume, and it got burned and destroyed. Think of Springtrap at the end of.
Well, could it be that he didn't see the janitor dude on one side, and he was just kind of like running randomly?
Well, no, because I'm pretty sure it was staring at him.
Oh, okay. So here we have it. Now, I know it's wonderful. Everybody's writing so many things, but let's talk about the stories. Tracy, thanks for being on with us. William, thank you. Okay. Happy birthday, Avocado Boy. But let's
that is not why
concentrate on the story.
We are here to do horror stuff, so no
Disney stories. Let's ask this. Whoever paid attention or has been following, who thinks, I mean, I would say number 2 is the false one. Who thinks the same way, or who else? No, that's all good, William. We're just saying you're fine. Okay. We're just letting everybody know.
I understand why you wanted to, but
who thinks story number 2 is false? And Gina, yes, we'll let K-Mom know. Thank you so much. I think, okay, Joseph, there we go. I think number 3 is false.
May I ask why?
Can you give us the reasoning? Does it sound like, okay, do you think it's false because it sounds like something Kevin would make up? Oh, your favorite European. I know you got timed out, but you're back. All right, worrying about my age. All right, 2 is false, I think. So you agree with me. Okay. Joseph, if you can tell us why you think number 3 is false.
Okay.
A little bit sounds made up.
Well, I understand that part, but I mean, like, I'm just asking, which part sounds false?
I'm going to jump in on this. And I think it's made up, like, it feels like you just had to kind of make a story and you were kind of going along with it. And we're like, oh. John the Sigma also saying number 2. Well, now, Joseph got me thinking because I think it might be number 3.
Okay, I'm going to ask something that's going to destroy your entire plan.
Okay.
Here's my question.
So it feels like you had to make up a story.
Okay. What if I found?
Do you want to know why? Hold on, and before you say that, do you want to know why initially I thought 2 would be it?
Why?
Because that one was different from the length and kind of the blandness of the stories. Like 2 and 3 were a little bit more exciting. So number 1 feels like, okay, whatever. Somebody's staring down, and I know they stare at you and stuff like that. So I think 2. Oh, saying number 2 feels too fun to be true.
Too fun?
Fun, like maybe something in the sense like, oh wow, that really could happen, or it is actually fun to hear, or is exciting to hear.
And like I actually put Mary there just to throw
yes
off.
And you kind of said something like, this part I didn't make up, so we're kind of like thinking.
Okay, so here's my thought process. Okay, you think that story number 1 is false, correct?
No, everybody knows story number 1 is true.
False as in I didn't make it up.
Okay, this is where you're confusing us.
Okay, hold on.
So how about this? Let's concentrate to what we are saying so everybody understands this.
Well, yes.
But one of the stories is made up by you.
Yes.
That's what we call false.
Of course.
Okay, so that's what we're trying to get.
The other 2
exactly.
Okay.
So that's how it goes.
My apologies. You think story number 1 is real, as in I found it online.
Yes.
Then you have a little tiny error between 2 and 3. You can't figure out which one's which.
I don't have an error. I have a little bit of a debate. I'm going back and forth between the 2 of them. So the reason I thought initially 2, because that's a more complicated, elaborate, and it actually feels like a story. And number three was kind of bland, but then again, running away from it is kind of spooky. So I don't know. Three felt like it's a story that had to be rushed.
3 could be something I found online that was like rushed swap.
Yeah, it also could be something you made up.
It could,
so
but so could
you're not.
story
You're
number
just
2.
trying to confuse us.
Yes.
All right. You know what?
That is my
That's it.
job.
I want to take a poll, and whoever's, if you're still with us and you don't mind, write in your vote, and I'm gonna just count it. I like how we have low view count, so that way we can know.
Yes, we can
get a better understanding. So right now, help me out, and this is gonna be the final tally, and I'll go by that. Okay. So John is saying number 3. So number 3 has 1 vote so far.
Kevin is saying number 1.
You don't count in this. You're the storyteller. All right. Who else is saying? I'm gonna count it now, starting with John's vote. Joseph is saying 3. All right. Waiting. Okay. Your favorite European is saying number 2, which kind of what I led with.
Okay.
All right.
Wait.
So 2-1. 2 for 3, 1 for 2. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Anybody else voting?
I hope he has to be the tiebreaker. That would be fun.
There's no tie. I'm just gonna go with whatever the highest vote is.
Yeah, but do you count? Wait, do you have your own vote?
Yes, of course I do. Don't voting once is enough. Don't spam. I got it. Okay. All you have to do is it's not by how many times you vote. I know who voted, so it's still 2 votes for 3, 1 for 2. 1. If anybody else is on here that has listened to the stories. Okay, so initially I thought it was 2, but I am gonna go with 3 as well. It feels like something that was rushed, and you just kind of place it together. So
3-2.
Yeah. So the final count is this.
So you're locking in story number 3?
Yes, we are locking in story number 3.
Okay. Well, story number 3 is the fake one I made up. Congratulations.
All right. Everyone, good job. I think you had us at 2 thinking about it, but 3
I messed up. It felt rushed.
It did. It felt really rushed. I think all you had to do, but good job. I still feel like good job making that story. I think you should have just added a little bit more into what the guy's doing, running, something of that nature, and you would have fooled us. Number 2 was really elaborate, and it felt like it could be something. All right, so I did get that. I think before we leave, we should just kind of, we are going to pay attention a little bit, call everybody out, or kind of answer some questions if they're appropriate. I know you have been with us just kind of listening to the story, so let's see what's going on. All right, Joseph is saying you are a trickster.
Thank you. I mean, it didn't work out too well.
Not today, but the other stories.
We can discuss what should be the next topic for.
There you go. Avocado Boy is saying this is a great live stream. Your favorite European, great storytelling. What is your opinion on Legos? John is saying that.
I mean, no offense, I think it's obvious. I love them. They're fun.
Definitely a fan, right?
Yes, I'm definitely a fan. Anyways, any good horror topics that anybody wants us to do? For example,
Ocean, thank you.
Like Stairs in the Woods, something like that. I'm open to hear what you think.
What do you think?
Now, I did want to do vampires, but I couldn't find any good stories on that. So don't do anything like too obscure or like generic, I guess you could say. If you've got something more like creepier, like Stairs in the Woods, the Crybaby Bridge, stuff like that, let me know.
Yeah, definitely. So even if not just now, leave it in the comment section. And a Lego horror when they come to live. When they come alive.
So
Lego horror stories.
Toy Story?
No. Well, specifically Lego.
Yeah, but that's like so obscure. I don't think anybody has a story on that.
Oh, there are. That's why it's exciting. So you need to do your homework on that. All right, that might be something in the running. I think that's a good one.
I mean, I'll check.
Definitely.
Check if there is.
And I know the one you make up would be pretty good. You can make up your own story on how you were building and it
I can't make up like 3 of them.
No. I mean, you have to be 2 of them true, and then you make up one. Isn't that the premise of the whole show? And then you could tell them.
I will change it in an instant if I want to.
3 false. Guess one. 3 false, and guess one. Guess which one actually happened to me. I think that would be good.
Wait,
I have 3 false stories, and one of them happened to me.
Yes.
While I was building the Titanic, it came alive, or I found some of the actors in it, or found Le Coeur de la Mer, found a diamond when you were building the Titanic. I think that would be a good story. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us today. This was pretty fun.
Yes, thank you. We hope that you had a good time, even if you weren't on the live. Leave us down below a comment. Let us know down below. Give us your comments what you think would make a great horror episode. I am ready to hear them. With that being said, have a wonderful night and or day, and make sure that you keep one eye open tonight.